Hello Galactic family. This is a pivotal moment in human history. Enormous changes are underway as your attitudes and beliefs go through extensive cleansing, releasing, reinterpreting, and renewing in preparation for your imminent awakening. It is imminent, and the chaos and conflict that fills your news channels is a very clear indication of this. There are many open-hearted and loving people doing great work all across the planet to help the majority deal with all the core issues that are arising within them, seemingly unbidden. Nothing happens to anyone without their agreement and permission. On Earth that often does not appear to be the case, but that is only because your awareness of your true nature is so deeply buried that you cannot access the knowledge or memory of what you incarnated to do. It is very confusing for you as you go through your dark night of the soul experience, feeling lost, alone, and abandoned. Of course you are not lost, alone, or abandoned, but you are releasing your vice-like grip on the seeming reality of the illusion and the inadequate sense of belonging with which it provided you. You have chosen to awaken into reality, and for that to happen you have to release your grasp on the unreality of the illusion, and as you do so it seems that you are losing everything. But that everything that you are in the process of losing is nothing. It is but a dreamlike sense of place, community and purpose that you built into the illusion to give it a sense of substance or solidity. What you are doing is releasing your hold on unreality and allowing it to fall away or dissolve. It is a bit like working in the dark with a flashlight to repair something, and being able to see well enough to do what is necessary, when suddenly the brilliant light of the sun fills the workplace, dazzling you so that you are unable to see what you are doing. If you just relax, your eyes will adjust and you will be far better able to see what you are doing and complete your work quickly and easily. The dark night of the soul is a little like that, only darker, but you will come through it if, instead of fleeing to mind-numbing drugs, alcohol, or sleep, you remain aware and allow the darkness in that space to develop and fill it, which it may well do. But the space, which is you, then expands enormously and the darkness becomes so thinly spread, so tenuous, and so innocuous that it evaporates, and the brilliant light of God's love, with which you are always one, then fills your space, surrounding and embracing you so powerfully that you cannot avoid being aware of it, seeing it, and, with amazing unremembered joy, returning its loving embrace. You are all divine creations of God, who is love, and love is infinite in its giving, sharing, and expanding, holding within itself all of creation. The illusion has been but a tiny restricted space where God's Son chose to hide and close himself off very temporarily from his divine source, the oneness that is God, source, creation, all that is, Father, Mother, God, universe, supreme intelligence, infinite wisdom. In fact, use whichever words with which you individually and personally feel most comfortable. God loves you unconditionally and will respond to any form of address you choose to use. He cannot be offended by you or by anyone else because offense is of the illusion and is completely unreal. You have all, while experiencing life as a human, felt offended at times. Why? Because as humans you are in an extremely limited state of consciousness and are seemingly unloved, lost, and abandoned because you have chosen to close off your awareness of and your unbreakable connection to your divine source. Unaware of who you truly are, and seemingly separated and lost, intense fear developed in this unreal environment, convincing you that God was displeased with you. He was not. You were displeased with yourselves, mightily displeased because your fear was so intense, and unable to bear it you projected it onto others who then mirrored back to you that sense of inadequacy in the same forms of judgment and disapproval that you had projected onto them. Judgment of others is your way of escaping self-judgment, and the more intense your personal sense of inadequacy and worthlessness seems to be in the eyes of the imaginary God you invented as an authority figure, the more intense and unrelenting is your judgment of others. The way out of this seemingly no-win situation is to accept yourselves fully, while releasing all negative self-judgments. As humans you are severely limited in wisdom and intelligence and, therefore, you cannot avoid making errors. Instead of judging yourselves for them, and perhaps even denying that you made them, learn from them and forgive yourselves lovingly as the lessons are learned. The more you can accept yourselves with all the inadequacies and incompetences you see yourselves as being burdened with, and as you come to really know that God never judges you but only and always loves you infinitely, the more easily you will be able to accept and forgive yourselves as beloved children of God. And once you accept yourselves, others, too, become acceptable with all their errors and inadequacies as you recognize them as merely reflections of yourselves, likewise infinitely beloved children of God. You are, all of you, every human, one with God, even though as humans that is very difficult for you to understand and accept. But, as God is all that exists, it must be true. So allow yourselves to know this, as you most definitely do at the deepest level of your being, and be at peace. When you are at peace your energy fields expand and blossom, pouring love into every human heart that is open to receive it. You incarnated in this day and age to do this work, and when you do it your satisfaction with life grows and strengthens. Going through your individual dark nights of the soul brings you to a place where your doubts dissolve and you feel God's love for you daily. Not yet constantly, because the illusion distracts you, but when you go within each day to visit your holy altar, love embraces you and you feel it. You need to do that daily so that you can do what you came to do without being dragged down into doubt about your infinite value as a child of God, as an essential part of the divine plan that is awakening humanity. Those doubts can be very unsettling, so immediately they arise call on your supporters in the spiritual realms to assist you in releasing them. You hold on to them, they do not enslave or ensnare you, they are merely the results of your own negative self-judgments. Ask to know yourselves as God knows you, and rejoice in the experience that arises to confirm that you are and always will be an infinitely loved and inseparable part of the Source, all that is. You are one, your love, that can never change, and your increasing awareness of this divine truth will dissolve your invalid self-doubts. Your loving brother, Jesus.